Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna stop talking now. Go ahead and start the show when you're ready,
Okay,
Amanda.
all right.
Yeah, Amanda.
Jeez. Get on it, Amanda.
Chop chop, Amanda.
All right. Let's do this.
I'm about to hop in and do an intro myself. You know what?
Intro faster.
Give me
You took too long. Now your game
give me
is gone.
You know what? Put me in, coach.
I'm ready. All right. Hello, friends and fiends. Welcome to Bugs Need Heroes, the podcast about insect superpowers. Each episode, an artist and a entomologist. Okay, well, team up to illustrate the inspiring abilities of insects by creating bug-themed superheroes. I'm Amanda.
I'm Ellen.
Producer Derek and Clementine are also here. Before we get started creating this bug-inspired hero, what's bugging you, Ellen?
Oh my God. Okay. So I'm the world's biggest stone fruit freak.
Okay.
I absolutely love stone fruit more than anything. You give me a peach, you give
Yeah.
me a nectarine, a mango. Love stone fruits. And we are just in the beginning of like peak stone fruit season. Like we're starting to get into the season where stone fruits are at their absolute most delicious. But we're early enough in the season that when you buy at Costco a massive thing of peaches or apricots or God forbid plums, that pack that you get is going to be like 50% the most heavenly delicious thing you've ever tasted in your life, and
Yes.
the other 50% is going to be straight doo-doo in your mouth. Like
yes.
it is just, you are going to get, and you never know what it's going to be until you bite into it and you're like, oh great, awesome, that was just battery acid that I just put in my mouth.
I feel that way about peaches kind of in the general. Because
No,
I feel
like-
like sometimes you eat a peach and like, this is the most perfect experience of my life.
Yeah, you're like, this has changed me. Something
like-
deep within me.
It's like eating this peach, my wedding day, the birth of my children. You know, like it's up there. And then other times you eat it, you're like, all right, that was okay.
You're like, I rather would have just like stuck a bar of soap in my mouth, I
Yeah,
think.
exactly.
Like, yeah, so we're like at that period in the season where like it is completely unpredictable as to what kind of experience you're going to get with the fruit, and my expectations are so high every single time that I have so much farther to fall.
Right, you're thinking about the best one when you're
Yeah.
like craving it. When you're walking over to the fruit basket, you're like, I'm about to have the best peach. And then,
Yeah, I'm like, ooh, I can't wait for this. And then you have one and you're like, God, I wish it was her. Like, I'm thinking about that one peach that was so good. You're like, you just, sometimes I wish she was you. Like, just like eating the stupid awful peach.
meanwhile, the peach is like, I'm not a perfect person.
Just the one that got away.
Yeah, truly.
3 years ago, that one peach that I had that
Everyone
I'm still
pales
thinking
in
about.
comparison.
Yeah, so I can't wait for when mangoes are ready, because y'all won't hear from me for like a month.
You'll
I'll
be
be
gone.
too busy eating mangoes.
Our mangoes like aren't good in the U.S. because they're like shipped for so long from the places where mangoes grow. But I could be wrong
Yeah,
about that. I have
I
dried
read-
mangoes because I'm like, this is probably as close as I'm gonna get.
I do like dried mangoes. Up here, we get there's a fruit place I go to in Pike Place in Seattle that gets like the type of mango that it's literally like just eating the most heavenly, like buttery, perfect mango. They're so good. I read recently that like the world's biggest producer of mangoes is India.
Yeah,
But they are not the world's biggest exporter of mangoes.
they're saving them for themselves.
because they also eat the majority of the mangoes
I
that
mean,
they
that
grow.
makes perfect sense to me.
So they're gatekeeping
If
the
I was
good
growing
mangoes
the
from
best mangoes, I would also keep the best mangoes. I see no faults with them on this one.
that's you're growing gold on trees at that point. Like they're like, why would we ship this out?
This is for us. Grow your own mangoes. Well,
So that's what's bugging me is the inconsistency of the fruit eating experience.
That's fair. I mean, there's like a famous story of, I believe it's Queen Victoria receiving a mango, and I don't know if you know this, but she had like a BFF who was an Indian man, And he was like, you can't possibly serve this to her. She'll think this is how mangoes are. And she's the queen. She needs a good mango. And yeah, it's
don't
like
embarrass me.
How dare you? She needs to know how good the mango is. So there you go.
Dude, honestly, like a peak season mango fresh off the tree
changed Victoria's life. I think she would have. She would have
It-
forgot about Morning Albert. She would have been fine, actually.
it awakens something in you.
So if you're listening and you're wondering why Ellen is here and not
You're like, who is this?
who is this and why they talk about fruit so much?
And why have they not addressed the brand new person at all?
Like, am I on the right podcast right now? You are on Bugs Need Heroes. Dr. Kelly is unavailable today, so we asked our dear friend Ellen of Just the Zoo of Us to step in today. She's going to be our Dr. Kelly. She'll be
I'm back, baby.
Dr. Ellen for the day.
Dr. Kelly asked me to hold on to the PhD for her. She said, hey, can you take care of this while I'm gone?
Then you laminated it. Now it does that, like, when you wiggle it, it makes that thunder noise now.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a chaotic episode because we don't have Kelly here to be like, guys, we gotta stay, on the even keel.
She's like, hey, I'm busy. I can't record today. Can you feed my PhD for me? Maybe give it some water, take it for a walk. You gotta take care of the PhD.
It just
every
needs
day.
a little stimulation every day, or else it starts ripping up the other degrees. It's being like, I'm the best one.
Why does the bigger degree not simply eat the others?
Survival of the fittest degree. Mm-hmm. I can see this. Oh, things are sliding. So we asked you what bug you wanted to cover today, because if you're not familiar, Ellen did the proper thing, unlike us, which she said, I want to talk about every kind of animal. And we foolishly narrowed ourselves down to just the bugs. But we felt the bugs were important, so that's why we did the bugs. But
the bugs are important. And you know what? There's so many shows that are about animals in general.
Yeah.
There's so few shows that are just about bugs. So I feel
that's
like
how we felt.
Yeah, I feel like identifying your niche is very helpful.
Kelly's Reddit name is Fills Your Niche, so
exactly
perfect. I'm like, I gotta wipe my face because I've got like tears in the corners of my eyes. I'm laughing about degrees eating each other.
You're welcome.
All right. So what bug did you select for us today?
I wanted to talk about love bugs.
Are love bugs a real thing, or is that just like a colloquial name? I guess I always assumed that it was something.
It is. I mean, it is like a common name. It's kind of like it's not exactly their scientific name, but love bugs are a distinct, that is recognized as like their own thing. How familiar are you with love bugs? Have you ever seen them?
Not that I know of. See, this is the problem. People ask me if I've seen it, and I'm like 100% familiar with it, and then I'm like, I don't know.
I've never met this man in my life.
Exactly,
never heard of this.
Because I just don't know what that man looks like. I don't know him.
So I am from Florida. And Florida is home now to these insects called love bugs, which are a type of fly. So they're in the Diptera order. So related to other flies and mosquitoes and things like that. But they are very noticeable and identifiable because they have these black bodies with this bright red. I'm going to have to double check to remember my bug anatomy vocab. I think it's the thorax.
Yeah.
So the thorax is like bright red. The rest of the body is black, and they have pretty long legs too. So pretty distinct, like visually when you see them. But even more than the distinctness of the individual love bug is that you will usually see them in pairs, like physically connected to each other. So two love bugs will be joined at the butt, facing in opposite directions. And they just go about their life like that, just conjoined in the middle. So that is usually, obviously that makes a much bigger bug, right? It's like visually, it's huge. You're going to see this thing flying through the air. And also it's just so weird looking. You're like, why are those two bugs stuck together in the middle like that?
How long are they stuck together?
They will be stuck together like that for up to 3 days.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So
which is like most of the adult life cycle.
That's what thinking, I'm like, how long could they possibly live like this? You're talking about they're going about their business. I'm like, how much business could they have? Most animals they're here. We're doing the business we need to conduct, and then we're moving on. We're splitting, yeah.
And then we have other things we need to do.
I've got other chores to complete.
Well, because you guys have probably talked about a lot of insects on this podcast who have this type of life cycle where, the larva will live for a while.
A long time, yeah.
Like the larva will live for maybe 9 months-ish sort of frame. Love bugs do not have a long life cycle. Like in every year is producing multiple generations of love bugs.
Oh, the turnaround's quick.
It's so fast. So there's even every year there's 2 different peak times of love bugs. So there's a late spring peak of love bugs, and then there's a fall peak of love bugs, because that's just how fast the generations are turning around. So the larva will live for anywhere from 3 to 9 months, but then the adults will only live for less than a week. And it's kind of one of those things with some types of moths. I know this is a thing where the adult is here to reproduce. That is it. They're interested in reproducing. Whatever else happens is fine, I guess. So they have this really, really brief life cycle, adult life, that is mostly dedicated to finding and choosing a mate. And then what happens is once the males find a female, they not only mate with her, but then they connect themselves to her, grasp onto her and don't let go. And they stay conjoined like this often for the remainder of their adult life. That they will stay stuck on there. And what I think this is, and I couldn't find a lot of material explaining exactly why they do this, but what I think this is that I think the males are holding on to the female so that she does not then go mate with another male.
Right.
Because sometimes,
that makes sense.
Insects will have these abilities to basically delete any earlier mating stuff and replace it with their own. So I think the males are just hanging on to try to make sure that she doesn't then
we talked about this a little bit with the water beetles with Dr. Kite, and how if he can't be sure all the eggs are his, he'll ditch them. So he'll be like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not raising another bug's eggs. It's not happening. So he ditches them so he can find another mate and be sure that all of them are his. So clearly this is a thing that matters to bugs.
Yeah. So the males will stay latched on. Now there's a couple funny things about this. Number one is that the male is significantly smaller than the female. So the female is much bigger than him. The male also, despite being much smaller, has a much bigger head and eyes. So he looks like he has this big cartoony sort of kawaii eyes on his body. And then the big female just she looks like she's hulked out. It's got a tiny little head. So when you look at
strange,
it is interesting. It kind of makes sense to me that the male would have bigger eyes because he's the more active pursuer.
Right. He's trying to find her. So he's got to
he's
on the swivel.
Yeah, he's looking. He also, sometimes the males will push each other off. If a male is already on a female, a male will try to knock the male off. And if he's bigger than him, he will dislodge a male and take his place.
Interesting. Little WrestleMania happening right behind her.
Yeah.
She's like, whatever, just figure it out.
Yeah, she's like, you two sort this out, and then whoever I end up with is whoever I end up with. It's because since the female is so much bigger than the males, she kind of has the reins.
I was gonna say, does she get to decide where they go? Because she can just outfly him. And it's funny that they go butt to butt when it feels like backpack would make so much more sense if she's so much bigger. But I assume the wings or something are in the way, that they have to be like two dogs stuck at the park. So
it's exactly like that, unfortunately.
And you're like, what's happening here?
So he is fully passenger princing the whole time. He's like, where are we going, mommy?
He's gone.
Not important to him where they're going.
He's doing what he wants to be doing. And so
don't save him. He don't want to be
He's
saved.
where he wants to be.
He's right where he wants to be.
So oftentimes when the adult is strictly like for mating purposes, that they don't eat or anything, do you know if they're eating at all during this week?
I believe they can still eat.
Okay.
They are still eating, but it's like not very much. They really aren't like alive for very long. At that point, I believe I have Christian's old notes on this. Yeah, so the adults are really only feeding on nectar and pollen at that point. So they're also very weak flyers at this point. They're not like people who grow up in a place where you see love bugs a lot can tell you these things are the most catchable bug ever. Well, like they're
two of them. I have to imagine
I
it's
know.
not aerodynamic. They're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
And I don't know he can't be helping that much. Like he's really not pulling his weight.
I mean, given the like aerodynamics of a bug, I have to think if he tries to help at all, he's like impeding her because he's pulling the other direction because of the way that like bug flight is.
Right.
Already kind of topsy-turvy as it is.
It's like when your kid wants to like help you cook dinner.
Oh, yes.
And you're like, wow. Thanks.
You're like, thank you for putting that flour in the bowl. That was
thanks for
nearly
helpful.
all made it into that bowl.
And it makes everything take 5 times longer.
You're like, for your development, I'm going to allow this, but know that I'm going to have to redo all of this.
I am going to be mad about it, though.
I almost wonder if it's worse. You know, it's like that whole representation, like, is bad representation better than no representation? Is like discomforting parenting better than no parenting at all? Like, is me standing there annoyed that she's not doing it well helping her more than if I just not had her do it?
I'm just secretly annoyed. I'm secretly
okay.
annoyed. It has to be like a secret hidden annoyed. Like hey, listen, as soon as you guys go to bed, I am going to talk mad trash about you guys.
Can't wait for my nightly trash our children session after you guys are in bed.
That is like 80% of parenting is just like waiting until the kids have gone to bed to have your nightly like, oh my God, get a load of this kid.
Yeah. Can you believe what they did today? The one me and my husband have been saying lately is this might not make it to the podcast. We were playing Car Rainbow, and the end of Car Rainbow is purple, or it can be pink because pinks are rare enough that we'll let it in. But my son started saying possible pinker every time he saw a car that
I'm sorry, that's so funny.
So now me and my husband are like possible pinker every time we see something that's like a little bit sus. Like,
okay, that's hilarious. That's a very good bit.
Possible pinker.
We got a possible pinker.
We got a possible pinker over here. And it just sounds like not good. Like no one wants
What
to be
a great bit. That has to be a permanent bit.
We say it probably too much because he's gonna catch on that we're like making fun of his way of talking. It was so funny.
My older son started a new what I suspect might be a permanent bit the other day, where he went to the fridge and got this thing out. It was something we'd never tried before. A neighbor gave them to us. They're this pack of like little yogurt drink things. You know what I mean? The little things, and they're like a yogurt, like a probiotic yogurt drink thing. Yeah, you never had one before.
Derek loves them. We went to Rose City. I think it was the most recent Rose City, and they had like a little booth where they were handing them out. And Derek he'd change our path to another panel so that he could walk past again and get another one. At the end, they're like handing out whole packs of them, and he's like, "I'll take one of those." Amanda,
with like a little fake mustache on, and
exactly, he's like wearing a hat. He's like turned his sweater around sometimes. Yeah,
making multiple passes.
He must have drank 20 of them over that weekend.
Dude, your gut microbiome is like
robust.
Could withstand a nuclear blast.
The gut
at this
biome
point.
is going to take over him at this point, and he will be the gut biome.
So my older son, who is 12, goes to get one from the fridge, and we were playing a board game. So he like went and got one from the fridge. He brought it back to the table. He sat down, opened it, took a sip, and looks at me with the most startled expression. And he goes, "This is a drink."
Like this is the stuff. This is
he was like, "This is a drink," but just the way he said it, it was like he was gonna say something really like impactful and profound, and he was like, "This is a
I've
drink."
just realized this is a drink.
And it just took me out the way he said that, because I was like, it's one of the drinks. Of all the drinks, this is one of them.
It is certainly drinkable. I'll grant you
Dude,
that.
this is potable, dude.
Potable.
And I love when kids just organically like say something so off the wall that you're like, well, that's permanently in there now. We're going to say this until you're 40.
Mm-hmm. We still say flamily because my, the oldest grandkid in our family, one time she got lost or we were babysitting. I don't even remember the circumstances. All I remember is that she kept saying, I miss my flamily. I miss my flamily. And we were like,
yep, permanently uploaded.
Flamily forever now.
Okay, sorry for derailing us. We were talking about bugs a few minutes ago. So with love bugs, you know, I grew up in Florida, which I guess I always just kind of assumed that love bugs were native to Florida because literally growing up, you could not go outside without love bugs being flying around. You know, they were everywhere. You could literally just like at any point you could reach your hand out in front of you and probably catch a love bug. They were so thick, like during those peak times in like, you know, late spring and then literally just swarming everywhere. You could not go outside without seeing love bugs flying around. And I didn't realize until we did an episode with a segment on them a few years ago. And this was Christian's episode, actually. And so he was explaining that actually love bugs are not native to Florida. And it wasn't until the 1940s that love bugs were found outside of like Central America. Like they used to only be native to like the sort of Central America area. And then in the 1940s, they breach containment.
Yes.
And they start working their way across, you know, into Texas, into Louisiana. And then by, I want to say the 60s and 70s, they had established themselves in Florida and became just very sort of, I mean, like the population there is insane. Like they're literally everywhere. And scientists aren't like totally sure what brought them to Florida. Like it just seemed like sort of natural like dispersion. It didn't seem like it was tied to anything particular that was happening. They just made their way over into Florida. And I don't know if it was because it wasn't until a good while after the love bugs had sort of settled, this urban legend of sorts takes over in Florida about love bugs, where people start saying that the University of Florida, UF in Gainesville, genetically engineered love bugs in a lab. That like love bugs didn't exist until the University of Florida created them in a lab to control the mosquito population, as they were supposed to be like predators of mosquitoes that they then released into the wild to eat mosquitoes. Love bugs don't eat mosquitoes. They don't eat any other bugs. They're not predatory. They're herbivores. They literally don't even have the right types of like mouth parts to kill and eat anything. They're they eat mostly like nectar and pollen. It's not that sort of thing at all. So wrong on that part. And then there's a really funny quote that I found is from the Crowley Museum and Nature Center. They say, quote, if science had advanced to a level of being able to completely create an organism that successfully feeds and reproduces, do you really think it would be a love bug?
You think we would have released that as the final product? Or do you think we would have been like, we're
You'll
close,
see this,
guys?
This thing is embarrassing.
We don't want any part of it. We
don't want our name on this, okay? Yeah. Like...
Yeah.
Like they're like, hey, this is insulting to us actually that you think this is what we would come up with.
Not because we think the science is bad, but because this is where we'd stop. We
could do so much better than this.
We would do an alligator with the body of a Burmese python. We wouldn't even be doing this.
So I don't know. Maybe the legend just came from like the fact that, you know, love bugs just kind of showed up, you know, like in the mid sort of like. And
maybe you can speak to this. Do the Floridians love a conspiracy?
Oh, nothing like a conspiracy.
Nothing hits quite like a conspiracy.
Nothing hits quite
like it. At
this
point,
it.
Does Florida have any native wildlife, or is it all invasive species? Because like I feel like all I hear about is like pythons are in the swamps.
It's the ecosystem of Theseus that like
yeah, exactly. Like which ecosystem is the true ecosystem? We don't know.
It's all Burmese pythons and monkeys and like iguanas and stuff like that.
I forgot about the monkeys. Like just People who
Nutria.
enjoy a exotic pet move to Florida and then get tired of their exotic pet. Seems to be like the story I've heard about Florida so many times.
What was that? I was reading about something recently. The Mata Mata turtle.
Oh.
Like an extremely bizarre turtle from like the Amazon and Orinoco rivers in South America. And I was reading about them. I was looking at like their, native range and habitat and stuff like that. And then of course there's a little note that says like there's a feral population in southern Florida. And I'm like, of course there is.
Of course there is.
Like literally you can't read it. If anything is from a tropical area of the world, there's a feral population of it in Florida.
So I'm expecting to see hippos anytime I go, just anything.
Well, the hippos are in Colombia.
I was gonna say, are there a bunch of hippos in Colombia?
There's hippos in Colombia.
The drug lord?
Ellen, can you explain that to Amanda? It's a great story.
Oh, the Colombian hippos?
Yeah, tell me about the Colombian hippos.
Yeah,
I know they exist, but that's like kind of all I know.
So, in the 1970s and 80s, there's a guy named Pablo Escobar. Maybe you've heard of him.
I've heard of him. He's in a song right now where he's, what's that? It's like Tame Impala, like, I'm so charismatic, Mr. Pablo Escobar. And of course, Pablo Escobar, famously of Cocaine Bear.
This is a very similar story.
Oh, excellent, excellent.
In vibe, not a similar thing happening, but Pablo Escobar becomes one of the richest people in the world. Like, he is legitimately like one of the richest people on the planet at the time. He has so much money that at his estate in Colombia, he pulls a move that a lot of rich people love to do, which is basically keeping a private zoo, right? Mm-hmm. You just turn your house into like a menagerie.
I don't need to go anywhere. It's all here.
Yeah. You can just look out your window and see like elephants and giraffes and stuff like that. So he's got all sorts of crazy animals at his house in Colombia. And what would turn out to be quite problematically, he has 4 hippos on his property in this sort of zoo area. So after his, arrest, and was he murdered during his arrest, I want to say?
I want to say that he didn't make it out of that shootout.
Did not survive the arrest. Anyway, he's out of the picture. So with him no longer living there, the property just like falls into disrepair. Like nobody's around taking care of it. Nobody's like upkeeping it. So things just start falling apart. Things just, are breaking down. Most of the animals were donated to different zoos around South America. So they're able to get most of the animals out of there. But the hippos had escaped already. So they breach containment.
Says that I see what's happening here. We're out.
The hippos are like, this is not going so good. I'm out of here. They leave, and they just made themselves right at home in the lakes and the rivers surrounding Pablo Escobar's estate. The hippos were also too big and too dangerous to be captured safely, so they just stuck around. So authorities were even just like, listen, there's nothing we could safely do about these hippos. Sorry, guys. Our hands are tied. There is nothing we can do about this.
Like, they're the most dangerous animal in Africa. People always are wanting to be like, oh, lions, leopards, but
no,
like,
it's hippos, dude. Yeah, I think probably a crowd of people could probably overpower a lion. I think it would take like a full-on, fully like armed, weaponized army to take down hippo. Yeah,
a single male hippo.
You would need like multiple snipers, I think, because once you're at range, once you're in melee range, it's over.
I've heard
there's
that.
No chance.
This is revealing too much about me. I do follow a TikTok that's like horrible things that have happened on this day, June 28th, 1999. And then it's like they were eaten by a shark or whatever it is. But not that long ago, there was one that was like a hippo attack, and it does not go well for like this, like a group of like 6 people. Oh, yeah, isn't there a movie soon? Isn't there like a Hungry Hippo movie coming out soon?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look right now. I'm pretty sure there is. I think it's called Hungry.
That's hilarious. So these hippos, basically the authorities are like, we can't get these hippos out of here. So like, we'll just let nature take its course, right? We'll just let them chill out and they'll eventually die and it's fine.
But you got 4. That's a breeding population, friend.
Yeah. So by 2007, there were now 16 hippos in the rivers and lakes in Colombia.
That's 4 times as many hippos.
We're quadrupling. So now we're experiencing exponential growth.
Yes.
By 2011, there were over 30. And by now in the 2020s, estimates of the feral hippo population in Colombia are at around 166. Which is like, now we are at a point where like there's
nothing
it's
you
over.
can do.
There's nothing you could do.
They've established, like, they're gonna have to split into family groups at that size.
Yeah, like there's like a dynasty going on.
Yeah.
There's like Game of Thrones hippo wars happening now.
My gosh, because I think a lot of people assume like, oh, it's not that many. They can't establish, I think they sometimes anthropomorphize of like, well, they wouldn't have babies with their siblings or cousins or anything.
Oh, they absolutely would.
But 100% animals do that.
They fold without zero pressure.
No, they're like, cousin.
Yeah, they're like, you're like right there.
Cousin Suzanne's looking pretty good today. Like they're in,
They're like, why would I bother going to find a different mate? There's one right here.
Right here. And so it's Florida. So, sorry for Florida slander for you. June 23rd, there is a movie coming out called Hungry, which is about like a rampaging hippo, a la, like Anaconda or Congo or, those movies where it's like,
Piranaconda.
Yeah, exactly. You're trapped in here with an animal that is going to murder you. And for hippo, I'm like surprised that there's not a hippo one sooner.
I might see this movie.
I think you might need to and report back to us how it is.
Have you seen those pictures that are like, this is what hippos would look like if paleo artists
I love
reconstructed
those
them
ones.
from their bones?
Derek gifted me a book all about it. All Their Yesterdays, I believe it's called. It is so funny to like think about what, like, they also do like flamingos and ostriches, and they've got like these stabby hands because they're like, what are wings? I don't know. And it just makes me, every time I'm like, but what did dinosaurs look like? What did they look like? My dad
probably
for a long
way
time,
cuter. Probably
cuter. I like, imagine a T-Rex, but he has the body foliage of a baby chick. Like,
so good.
So
it's
good.
So good.
So
and
good.
With like, they probably had a lot more like chunk and fat on them.
Well, like a trunk wouldn't fossilize. So like, what if they all had like trunks and we no idea?
Just stupid looking noses or something.
Just ridiculous looking. Like, imagine a brachiosaurus, but he has a trunk on the top of his head. Hilarious.
I love in Prehistoric Planet where they gave Dreadnoughtus like inflatable balloons on its neck.
Yeah, they tried to do that like that one like, what is it even called? Like that quail pheasant thing. It's like,
yeah. Oh, the grouse. Yeah, the sage grouse. Yeah.
I love we're in the weeds now, but the one where they had like the Allosaurus, maybe it was a Carnotaurus, but it was like,
with the little. Is doing with the nobody can see what we're doing.
No one can see it. No, but they know. If they know the quote, they know.
If you know, you know. If you've seen it, you know what we're doing.
Your imagination is correct. We are just standing here wiggling our little blue arms at speeds that cannot be calculated.
Okay, so back to love bugs.
Back to love bugs.
Back to love bugs. So growing up around them, another problem that people end up having with love bugs is that often during those peak times, as I mentioned, you can't like go outside and walk around without being inundated with love bugs everywhere. Now imagine that density of love bug population and driving a car through it.
Blah, 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 blah.
I mean, like, it was the sort of thing where, like, if you drove anywhere, point A to point B, if you were driving more than, like, 2 minutes, the entire front of your car was going to be just covered in love bugs. Like, the whole front of it is just, like, blanketed in love bugs. And this is something that I remember just so distinctly growing up, like just there being love bugs all over everyone's car, and they even like would severely damage the paint on people's cars, because if you don't wash them off immediately, then like it breaks down, like the body breaks down, and it actually kind of like wears away at the paint on your car. So they legitimately like
a little bit caustic to the paint, huh?
Yeah, people kind of would like describe them as being like acidic, saying that they're like highly acidic or like made of acid or something. It's not that. It's just that like natural decomposition is just gonna
That's a little bit
ruin
like
your
that.
paint.
Yeah,
It's just anything.
It's like eggs on your house. If you gotta wash it off, or it gets gross.
Anything rotting on your car is going to affect the paint. But yeah, it legitimately was damaging a lot of people's paint. Like a lot of people had to like constantly wash their cars or, get their cars repainted over and over again because of all the love bugs. And so they were kind of seen as a nuisance for that. Once again, love bugs are completely harmless. They cannot do anything to you. Like, they can't bite you, they can't sting you, they can't transmit diseases to humans or anything like that. There is just absolutely no way that they can hurt you. So as a kid, it was pretty cool, like, that there was a bug around that you could easily identify as being like a harmless bug you could just grab and play with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like,
Like
oh,
the garter
there's a bug.
snake of bugs.
Yeah. Well, you don't play with any snakes if you live in
that's
Florida.
true.
You do not play with snakes.
Here we could play with garter snakes without much.
No.
Yeah. You guys live in that Australian lifestyle where you're like, no, you can't be doing that.
No, you can't be picking up snakes. But it was cool that there was like a bug around that you could feel comfortable and confident in just yanking out of the air and just like holding in your hands, letting it crawl around on you. Like, I don't know. I just feel like there aren't that many insects or bugs.
Roly-polies, and that's kind of it. Maybe
ladybugs.
Yeah.
Maybe, that like you feel comfortable just holding, So I feel like I remember that really positively, like being a kid and being able to just catch love bugs and hold them and not feel scared of them and, let them walk around on you. And I'm sure that, was quite distressful for the love bug, but we never hurt them or anything. We just like to kind of hold them for a few minutes and then let them fly away. So I really enjoyed that when I was a kid. There's kind of like discussion as to whether they're considered like they're not considered native, but they also don't seem to be harmful.
They've like naturalized to the situation.
I don't know about naturalized, but at least they don't seem to be hurting anything.
Yeah.
So it's like, and also they weren't introduced like by any sort of. It seems like they just naturally dispersed and naturally made their way over to Florida. So it's like, while yes, they're not necessarily native, they aren't.
Yeah.
They also don't seem to necessarily be like what you would consider invasive.
Right.
So people are just like, let them go. Like, let them just do what they're doing.
Right. They weren't introduced like the way that like so many invasive species, like they made their way over here like on a lumber ship, and now all the trees in our area have no way to fight them off. And so looking at you, Emerald Ash Borer, and like now we just have to deal
spotted
with
lanternfly. If I catch you, it's on site. So yeah, they don't really seem to be at the point where people are considering them like invasive.
Yeah.
And at least like conservationists and scientists aren't really concerned about them. I also remembered growing up, they had this just really, really dense population, and you'd see them all the time. But then they kind of disappeared gradually as I grew up. So by the time I was an adult, even though I still lived in the same city that I had grown up in, we did not see them anymore. They were literally gone. Like, we would go years without seeing a single one. And I remember Christian and I, like, we would talk about it. We'd be like, that's so weird that we like grew up with this animal literally everywhere. You could not go outside without seeing them. And then all of a sudden they're gone. It would be like if like one summer there was just no squirrels.
Right.
Like all the squirrels are just gone. And you're like, wow, where did they go? So we were like, that is so weird. And as it turns out, like that was a statewide thing in Florida, that love bugs just, when was it? Let me see if I wrote down when this was. Yeah, so at some point in like the late 20-teens and like the early 2020s, they just kind of disappeared. They were just absent. And a researcher at UF says that they don't really know why they've gone away. And they also did not expect them to bounce back. There has really been like no funding in researching this at all, or really even major interest in it, because they're kind of a nuisance. They're not really pollinators. They don't seem to be hurting anything, but they aren't helping anything either. So they're not really seen as being beneficial. So nobody has any skin in the game as far as whether the love bugs come back or not. So basically anyone who would have had the resources to do any like study into this is like, we have more important things to look at. So nobody has really bothered like researching where the love bugs went or why they disappeared so much from Florida. But this year Guess who's back?
She's back? Back again?
She's back. I bet you thought you'd seen the last of me.
You alone.
She's back. The LOVEBUGS came back. Oh, Derek says in the chat, Avatar Aang the Bug. When the world needed them most, they vanished.
And I believe LOVEBUGS can save the world.
LOVEBUGS can't even save themselves. I don't know. We better not have any problems that hinge on LOVEBUGS because they can barely get from point A to point B. But so they weirdly just this year they seem to have just come back. And I don't know if there's any like explanation for why, but I was actually in Tampa maybe about a month ago, which would have been right in peak LOVEBUG season, and there they were. They were everywhere. They were all over the place, just flying around. It was just like when I was a kid. I could just reach out and, grab one out of the air and hold it and play with it. And it was such a throwback, and I was also in a part of Florida that I had grown up in and spent a lot of time in as a kid. So I was already kind of like deep in nostalgia territory. And then I was like, there's my friends, the LOVEBUGS. I hadn't seen them in so long. And I got to just like catch them again and play with them. And I sent pictures to my husband. I was like, look, they're here. I got one. So I feel like they were really, really nice to have around. Just first of all, they're silly and goofy, right? Yeah. Like they're so goofy. The fact that they're these two, I'll say grown adults stuck together like this, like
find a better way to do this.
They're grown adults. And it's almost like when like siblings can't get along, so their mom like forces them into the same t-shirt or something like that.
They get along shirt.
Yeah, or like handcuffs them together or something like that, like to make them like learn how to get along with each other.
Yeah, you're not allowed out of this room until such and such task is complete.
So it's silly enough that they're grown, fully grown, and stuck together like this, completely at each other's mercy. That is quite goofy. They're just like an unserious animal. I feel like they're so like non-threatening, and that is nice to have around. It's whimsical, it's kind of silly, and I really enjoyed growing up around them. I felt like they were a real treat, and I'm glad that they have made a comeback. Oh, another thing that I forgot to mention about, the fact that we get hit by cars so much is that apparently the reason that they are hit by cars so much is that they're actually attracted to the exhaust fumes from cars, because like the chemical composition of exhaust fumes is kind of similar to the chemicals given off by like decomposing plant material, which is what the larvae eat. So
they're trying to find a good place to lay them eggs.
Yeah, so they're looking for a good place with like rotting plants so that they can lay eggs and their larvae will have food. So they'll be flying around. They're like, yummy. It smells like fumes. Delicious bog fumes around here. And they go fly towards it, and, it turns out to just be someone's like Ford Taurus or something like that. And they're like, oh, great.
Like, oh, no. Never mind.
So that's why they would kind of congregate around like roads or gas stations or stuff like that. And so they would congregate around these like places where there's a lot of car exhaust fumes. And then when cars drive through it, they just like hit 5 million of them.
So if I was to watch like an indie movie set in Florida in the early 2000s, the guy would like come out of the plaid pantry and he'd be like, ding, ding. And then they'd have a lingering shot of the light, and it'd be like all LOVEBUGS because they're just hanging out at the gas station.
They love it. Actually, do a quick Google. Google LOVEBUGS on car, and you'll see what like spring and fall look like.
Oh, wow. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, you see, it's dense.
I'm looking at one of a GMC van, and the guy is futilely scrubbing at his window, trying to clear it enough that he can continue his drive. And he won't be. This is thousands of bucks.
Yeah, it is literally thousands of bugs. Like and that's why I mean, like, you have to clean it quickly, because that many bugs on there will ruin your paint very fast. So yeah, they would just like usually, interestingly, they would usually not stick to like the windshield. I don't know if that's because they were usually lower to the ground, so like they just weren't flying up that high. Another thing about, when the love bugs are trying to find each other, like find mates, and they're trying to there's kind of a hierarchy where the males are competing for better spots to find females, and the better spots are lower to the ground. So the like more dominant males, like the bigger, tougher males, will be closer to the ground. And they compete over females, and they tend to prefer the larger and heavier females. So they like a big girl.
I like a big girl.
They like a big girl.
They like 'em big. They like 'em chunky. It's a very musical episode we've had today.
They like a curvy mommy.
Okay. I gotta add some curves too. Hold on,
She needs to be huge.
She's much bigger than him. I might even select him and make him even smaller.
He also needs to. Okay, so I have not seen art of the heroes that you're designing.
Yes.
So I don't know what's going on your screen. My idea is that like this is the picture of like the press conference where there's like a tall lady and a really short buff guy looking up at her.
I think so. Let me show you what I have right now, and then we can decide if we need to pivot to a more memeable picture. Hold on. Save.
Oh, look at them. Oh, wow. Oh, I love him. Look at this dynamic duo. I love them.
I assume he's just like I always come up with narratives because I'm who I am. But I figure he's just like a super simp for her. She's the one who's like actually powerful, and he's just also there.
That's what I'm imagining from this, that she's pulling the strings.
Yeah.
Like she's calling the shots, and he thinks he is.
He thinks he's an equal partner in this relationship. And she keeps him around because she likes him. But there's like no reason for her to do
Well, she doesn't want to get her hands dirty, right?
Oh, interesting. Yes.
Like she doesn't want to be on the hook. She wants to be, in the shadows, in the background, so that he'll take the heat for her.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay. This is kind of what I was talking about. And I ignore the text on it. I don't know what this is about, but oh my God, I have too many tabs open. Okay, help. All right. This is kind of what I'm imagining.
Yeah, this is the energy for sure. This is the energy.
Or like, the picture from the set of that Thor movie where Cate Blanchett is looking at Taika Waititi, who looks like an iPad kid showing his mom something.
Yes, exactly. And she's like gorgeous, and like flawless. And he's like, and here's where I've beat the final level of Candy Crush, mother.
He's like, look, Mom, look, I beat the Ender Dragon.
Mom, I got it. This is my netherite armor, Mom.
Look, it has Unbreaking 3.
Cobblestone is unbreakable, Mom. But I've built this whole fortress. A look into my life.
That's what the love bugs are giving to me. It's like he's along for the ride. He's there. She's definitely like the one pulling the strings. She's the type A. But I like in your illustration, I like that she's kind of like almost menacing, almost sinister in the background, which is really great.
Yeah, that was definitely if she was on her own, it's over. There's been this thing lately in a reaction to romantasy. I know your favorite genre of book.
Mm-hmm. We could have a separate podcast about that.
Our own what is the deal here? Where they talk about oh, he's the shadow daddy, but I want the one where she's the shadow daddy. She's the shadow daddy in this one. She's the one who's touch him and die.
Yeah,
that dynamic.
Ooh. It almost okay.
You'll have to explain what a shadow daddy is a little bit for our listeners.
Shadow daddy. Okay, so shadow daddy is this trope now in romantasy, often because he has some sort of shadow power. Specifically, Xaden, I think, is the originator of the shadow daddy sort of thing.
I think it goes deeper than that. I think it's I think we go back to Hades from Lore Olympus.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
That's the blueprint. That's the prototype, I think.
I argue, and stay with me on this, I argue that every Beauty and the Beast retelling is actually a Hades and Persephone retelling, and people just don't realize it. So I think, I mean, forget Lore Olympus, you can just go back to straight up Hades is Shadow Daddy. Everything else from there is direct.
The dynamic is always I can fix him.
Yes, that's the dynamic.
It's always an I can fix him dynamic.
He's morally gray. He's protective. He's maybe like sometimes jealous, depending on like where your flavor is. I prefer not jealous because
he's
I'm like,
aesthetically evil.
Yes, but
purely aesthetically evil.
Purely aesthetically, he's always like a long lost prince who's trying to save his kingdom, and but won't be ruthless enough to just take it himself. You know, that sort of thing. Because he's secretly soft on the inside. A side he only shows to the female main character who's 17.
The chosen one. Yeah.
Like, that's the Shadow Daddy feeling.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other, like, prominent... Like, Sand from your favorite book, A Court of... I don't remember. A Bowl of Mac and Cheese.
People don't know me well enough to know that you're kidding about that. Please don't put that on my name.
But, like, just that, like, the dark guy. The Spike from... Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He's a shadow.
The Kovu from The Lion King too.
Yes, exactly. Honestly, we're all just trying to catch what we had with Kovu from The Lion King 2 when we watched it the first time at 13 and we're like, wait a gosh darn second about this lion.
Hold on.
Now hold on. He has the voice of Max, but the feelings I'm having are not the feelings I would have with Max.
I think not benevolent enough to be a shadow daddy, but I feel like the aesthetic of a shadow daddy, one of my favorite like aesthetic villains like that who I think is shadow daddy aesthetically is Thrax from Osmosis Jones.
Yes. Oh, there's a lot of villain stuff happening with shadow daddies.
One of the coolest designs I've ever seen in my life. I love him so much.
Finger. Oh,
God, he's so cool.
Yeah. So I would argue that the oil spill voiced by Tim Curry in Fern Gully, Shadow Daddy behavior. Mm-hmm. But usually they're good guys. Usually they're secretly good guys.
Yeah, the Shadow Daddy has to be ultimately benevolent. Right. Like, ultimately...
There's a separate but related category of I can fix him villain types. Yeah. Which is like its own thing. That's your Hannibal Lecters. That's your, monster lovers, we'll say, on this podcast.
Yeah, but I like female love bug being shadow mommy. Yeah. That's great. I also wonder if we can tie in the urban legend of the love bugs being created in a lab to destroy mosquitoes. I wonder if we could tie in, like, have the love bugs be like created in a lab, genetically engineered super soldiers.
A little bit of like an Android 13 thing going on.
Yeah, to take down your mosquito hero.
Okay, so I've got this backpack on her that was meant to symbolize that big red spot on them. Oh. Now I'm thinking if I can integrate that in some way. Like, because like Blue Beetle has like the backpack that's like incorporated in with his physical self. I'm wondering if we can do something like that.
Maybe a capelet.
Yes. Okay, here we go.
Like a little capelet that only comes about down to here. You know what I mean? On the back. A shawl of sorts, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Let me see.
I don't know if that would interfere with wings though.
Yeah, I'm kind of using her long hair to like symbolize the wings. I do that a lot. Where I'm like the wings, if it's like a moth that has like a really clear silhouette, I try to use the hair when I can.
Maybe on her, she could have a red, like, capelet or something, because it has to be elegant. But on him, because he has this kind of spunky little, like, energy, maybe his could be, like, a puffy vest.
Yes. Okay, hold
on. A little, like, a bright red puffy vest on him, because he's, like... I think it would be really funny if they were, like, genetically engineered to be villains against this, like, you're already canonically established mosquito superhero. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And maybe he fully does not know that they are villains. Like, male Lovebug does not know that at all.
In our lore, the mosquito is a vampire ballerina. So, existing in that same deep, like, underbelly of professional dance and villainy. Because she's a vampire, which, you know how it goes. I think we did canonically make Mosquito a villain just because, like, unfortunately,
perfect.
They do cause a lot of problems across the world, the mosquito. As much as we can't get rid of them for other reasons, they do be spreading malaria like crazy. So,
well, then they can be genetically modified super soldiers to take down the mosquito villain and
vampire hunters.
The vampire hunters, which I don't know. Because I know all of this is totally urban legend, right? Like, this is like not actually true about this bug. So I don't know how you guys feel about tying misinformation.
I'm with it. I'm into the idea of the whole thing. Because, like, they keep trying to do that with stuff. I think specifically they really messed it up with Spider-Man. They tried to, like, imply that Spider-Man was kind of lab grown for a little while there. Especially in the Andrew Garfield movies. But they tried to imply that, like, his dad, a spider researcher, like injected, and that's why he can, like, but I believe that's Jessica Drew's origin. So they tried to, like, bring in the Jessica Drew origin in, and I don't think it worked. But
was it Jessica Drew that there was a movie about? No, am I thinking of something else?
No, they tried to do a Spider-Woman movie. It's complicated.
It was like a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
You're thinking of Madam Web.
I'm thinking of Madam Web.
Madam Web is what I'm thinking
But Spider-Woman is in that, right? With those.
One
I
of
never
them,
saw
not
it.
Jessica Drew. It's okay. I mean,
I heard
if
it was
you go in
insane.
with the right
I
expectations.
heard it was crazy. Well, it's one of those ones where this is what I saw in the interview, was that Dakota Johnson thought she was entering the MCU, not realizing that there's, like, Sony, Spider-Man, Disney, Marvel tomfoolery happening. So by the time she realized she wasn't entering the MCU, she was so, like, butthurt about it that, like, she did not perform in the movie, that she just kind of shows up. And
that has to be what happened with Sigourney Weaver in the Mandalorian movie.
Oh, really? I haven't seen the Mandalorian movie yet because I need to catch up on the show first.
Fortunately, Kelly doesn't listen to the podcast.
Wait, hold on. She's a big Star Wars girl. She's a big Anakin apologist. Another Shadow Daddy.
And definitely, absolutely, Darth Vader's a Shadow Daddy. I would argue the blueprint.
Truly,
perhaps.
because if Padme had just fixed him, he could have been fixed.
She could have fixed him.
And I see
she couldn't have. I don't think she could have fixed him. She did her best.
I mean, if you showed up in that, like, leather outfit to tell someone you didn't want to be with them, I too would go to the dark side. I'd be like, oh,
that's it.
Interesting. This is my villain origin story.
That was his like incel moment. That was he was like,
I don't like sand, and I don't like you in that dress to tell me you won't be kissing me. How dare you?
So I did see the Mandalorian movie. It's fun. We had a great time. We had a lovely time.
All I need from it.
You know, my husband is a huge Star Wars fan. Okay. So, and my younger son has recently been getting into the Mandalorian. He really likes Grogu. You know, so we were just, I was kind of along for the ride. I was like, I've watched, you know, parts of the Mandalorian show. I was like, I'm gonna have a good time. We had a good time. It was fun to watch. We enjoyed the experience of watching the movie. The thing that floored me about it is that I was like, how do you get nothing from Sigourney Weaver? Like, how do you pull that off? How do you accomplish getting
did you make her?
She seemed like she was visibly uncomfortable in every scene that she was in. Like, it was like she was like radiating, like, I don't want to be here. Like, I was like, how do you get a bad performance from Sigourney Weaver? I did not think this was possible. I didn't think she had it in her. Like, how do you pull that off? How do you get nothing from Sigourney Weaver? Though every scene she's in,
like she must have done something in the Avatar where she's like, I need to act on a real set, and here I am once again in space.
She just seems so like pissed off. I don't know what it was. And every time she's on screen, she looks like she's visibly like does not want to be there. And I was like, how do you do this? How do you pull this off? From like the mother of science fiction, like what do you do? Not, you know, the mother of like, you know, sci-fi action movie. How do you do this? That's mother. What are you doing?
Truly, that's mother. Truly,
what have you been doing? What are you doing to my mom?
How dare you? Put her in a mech suit immediately. I need to know.
Oh my God, that would have been so much better. If she could have had a mech suit or something, that would have been great.
Well, we've got a little Marty McFly now with our little friend here, because I put him in the puffy vest. It's giving Marty McFly, but that's fine.
Well, listen, they are flies. They are in the order Diptera, so
truly. I also
it actually works.
What might be referred to by some as a soccer cut, but what I would refer to as a mullet, because that says Florida to me, but I could be wrong.
I've never heard. I want to say a couple years ago, we had someone from Middleburg, which is really, really close to where I used to live, that won like some sort of national mullet competition.
There you go. Okay, I need to add some design to her. I'm giving him the silly superhero shorts because he needs them.
I'm pulling up the contest winners of the 2025 USA Mullet Championships.
Mullet feels like one of those ones where either you're growing one ironically or you're really like in on it. And unfortunately, people grow them ironically and then kind of get into it. They're like, oh no, this is who I am now.
Yeah, you're like, I'm in too deep. I can't go back at this point.
Right.
I have there are some impressive mullets on the 2025 USA Mullet Championships. Mullet Champ USA is the Instagram account, by the way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe that's the kind of if you want to incorporate that into your love bug design. Listen, my culture is not your costume, Amanda.
Oh my
okay?
gosh, I'm so sorry. I'll erase everything. As someone who went to art school, I can confirm I've met many a person with a mullet. They call it something else.
Oh, yeah.
They, theirs is whiter.
A wolf cut. Sorry,
yeah, it's a wolf cut. How dare you?
It's a wolf cut.
Yeah, It's funny. Mullets are definitely one of those things. That mustaches also, like, they're on the two sides of the human experience. the people who like mustaches can go one of two dramatic ways.
And I do like that with the male love bugs, like, he just looks like such a silly little goober compared to her, because he's got the the just frankly enormous eyes.
Yes, well, you mentioned that you thought they were like anime chibi-esque.
Yeah, and she looks kind of normal. She looks kind of like a normal bug, and he is just like, I mean, he looks ridiculous. I'm sorry. He's just such a goober.
That's the dynamic. That's what I wanted.
I do also imagine that they could have some sort of like Wonder Twin powers, like some sort of powers that activate once they like, clasp hands, or maybe they can sort of Voltron together or something.
She just puts him on her shoulders, and now, like, I wouldn't be surprised if like there's some sort of he awakens something in her that allows her to get to her most deepest. You know how like in a lot of shows are like the power of friendship, like you have, and then you like glow and you become more powerful.
Rage powers.
Yeah, or maybe like truly when he's in danger, it like motivates her to the point of like her most supreme self.
Not realistic to the love bug behavior. She does not care about him.
No. But that's not as fun as like I wouldn't want to read that comic. Like I'd be okay if she like is perpetually annoyed with him, but when it comes down to it, that's her man. All right, that's her guy.
That's her guy. Yeah. Don't talk to me or my tiny son.
Or my just a guy ever again.
Don't talk to me or my little dude ever again.
It'd be really funny if other people are always trying to like court her, or they're like, "We could do so much together, you and I," and she's like, "But I have my little guy already.
I have a little guy, and he listens to me.
This is the guy I need.
He does what I say.
If I go with you, I'll never escape the dark underbelly of the deepest depths that exist within me. I'll have to claw my way back to the surface, out of the darkness. But this little guy,
keeps me afloat. And he works so well as a foil to her. You know what I mean? His happy-go-lucky sort of perky attitude, I think, is such a good contrast against her stoicism.
I'm going to put her in an all-black suit, except for this pop of red, and then I'll make him much more colorful than her. So he continues to have like sort of that Batman and Robin dynamic. You're like, you're wearing all gray, sir. Why is your sidekick in bright green, red, and yellow.
Why is he in primary colors?
Exactly. Other than like the obvious, I've seen some people be like, well, Batman puts the Robins in bright colors so they shoot at the Robins, and then he can take them out. And I'm like, that's a dark theory, you guys.
At the Robins? Sorry?
So,
Sorry?
They're like too busy shooting at Dick, who's like flipping his way through this abandoned factory because they're always in.
I don't think Ellen knows how many Robins there have been.
Oh, girl, there's so many Robins. There's so many Robins.
Does he have like a vat of them?
Yes.
So like one of them gets taken out, he goes back to the Batcave and
Correct.
grabs a new one out.
Let's do a brief history here. So there's the first one, Dick Grayson. His family gets murdered by the mob at the circus in which he is performing. He witnesses their death. Bruce Wayne also witnesses their death. He says, I have to save this boy from the dark path he is on. He takes him in. But he's not old enough to be his father, but he's not young enough to be his brother. So their dynamic is complicated. Oh, yeah. Who are you? You can't tell me you're not my real dad. Eventually, Dick Grayson becomes old enough that he splits off. He becomes Nightwing, which, by the way, is a subtle little FU to Bruce Wayne, because Nightwing is the name of a Superman character. So it's like one last little like, I like Clark better than you, Bruce. And so he leaves. Batman operates on his own for like a brief hot minute. Then he's doing some crime solving. He comes out to the alleyway. Someone has taken all the wheels off the Batmobile. Oh no, who's that young child holding the tire iron? And I say, hey, did you take all the lug nuts off my
You little scamp.
You little scamp. And he says, I'm Jason Todd, and you'll never catch me alive, coppers. But he does catch him alive. He takes him home. He says, you're going to be the Robin now. And he starts training him up, but Jason Todd is disturbed. He's lived too long on the streets. He needs so much training. And the populace reading this comic hate Jason Todd. They think he's a little crap bucket. They're like, this whiny little jerk who just won't listen to Batman. How dare he? And so
already it's so crazy to me that he's like, you're Robin now.
You're Robin now. You want to live in my manor?
Like, well, like just that he's like the first one fucked up. Sorry, the first one pieced out, right? Yeah. The first one left, and he's like, no, I'm just gonna 1-to-1 replace you. Yes. Like, I'm gonna put him in your clothes and call him by your name. like that is already insane to me.
It's not right. Bruce is not well. And of course, Alfred's there, like another child soldier. Bruce, are you like sure about this? In some versions, Jason Todd.
Derek said he dyes his hair.
In some versions, Jason Todd is a redhead, and then Bruce dyes his hair black. They've like since gotten rid of that. They're like, this is too far. This is like too on the nose.
Anything but therapy. Anything but therapy.
So the DC Comics puts out a poll saying, do you like the Robin or should we get rid of him?
Is this anything?
People overwhelmingly vote for like, we hate Jason Todd, get rid of him. So the Joker kidnaps the Robin and beats him to death with a crowbar.
Wow.
As the people requested. So now,
this is true like Roman gladiator stuff.
It's crazy. This is what you get for like 40
like,
years.
Kill this child.
We hate him. He sucks. We don't care that he's 14. Boo.
Kill this child.
So then Jason Todd's dead. And Bruce Wayne, aka the Batman, is obviously like really messed up about this. The Joker has beaten his sidekick to death with a crowbar. It's not right. It's not cool. We get the darkest Batmans we've seen so far. Alfred's like, bro, I'm not sure what you quite expected having child soldiers. Eventually one of them was going to get got. But eventually Tim Drake enters the scene. He's a child detective and he's hyper focused on Batman. He's like, Batman's so cool. I want to be Batman. Tim Drake figures out who the Batman is, and he shows up at Bruce Wayne's door and is like, knock, knock, it's me, your new Robin. And Bruce Wayne is like, no, I'm not doing that. I've learned my lesson.
That's not me anymore.
I've learned my lesson, all right? My first guy is out there wearing a outfit with a cut down to his belly button, chest exposed. I'm clearly not cut out for this father gig. I won't be doing it.
Listen, he's for the streets, okay? I'm sorry.
His booty is popping and his chest is out, okay? He's going through his whole era. I won't be part of it.
Good for him.
Honestly,
good for him.
Good for Dick. He's Teen Titaning all over town. But Tim Drake's like, well, that's not a problem. I already have a father, so I don't need you to be my fake father. I just want to be Robin. And Alfred's all like, maybe you need a Robin, and which is quite the turnaround for Alfred because he was kind of anti-child soldier not that long ago, and now he's all like, well, I think Batman needs Robin to like lift him up out of the darkness. And I'm like, not a child's responsibility, but that's fine.
He's like, he needs a friend to play with.
He needs a little buddy. He needs a little. There you. Oh, oftentimes it's lower than that.
He's great.
Yeah, his Nightwing costume there for a while was certainly something. Yeah.
Love the collar that goes up to maybe his like
Above
forehead.
The ears. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good look. Anyway, so Tim Drake is the Robin, and he's doing a good job because he's a child detective, right? Okay, a couple years go by, people are like into it, blah, blah, blah. Eventually, Batman finds out that he has a child, a test tube baby, possibly not a test tube baby, created by the bad guy's daughter, who you may remember from the movie. She's all like, Ra's al Ghul was my father. Well, she's alive in the comics, and they have like an will they, won't they? Because Batman can't resist a girl in a skin-tight leather jumpsuit. He like...
Who among us?
Who... I blame
Who
him
among
not.
us? Listen.
Like, he's got like 2 major love interests in his life, and both of them wear basically the same outfit, which is just
He has a type.
Zip up, except for right at the cleavage, they leave it unzipped, that sort of thing.
Got a type.
Yeah, for sure. And she's bad, and he thinks he can fix her, and he can't really. They also are Shadow Daddy. So he has a child with her. He's been raised as an assassin. He's a 12-year-old assassin. He takes the 12-year-old assassin and says, I can fix him. He can't be an assassin. No son of Batman can be an assassin.
Fourth time's a charm, right?
Fourth time. This is time. Keep in mind, he still has a Robin. This Robin has not abandoned him. So he brings home this other kid, and it's like, he's Robin now. And Robin, who's already Robin, is like, what are you talking about? That's my job. I'm the Robin. And he's like, not anymore. He needs it more. So they moved Tim.
Dad says it's my turn on the Robin.
Dad says it's my turn to be the Robin. Move over. So basically he's like, well, I have to train this kid not to kill people, so he needs to be Robin. He needs to be with me all the time. So they move the current Robin over. He becomes Red Robin, which you'll note is a...
Yum! That is a burger chain.
Burger chain. Not different enough from Robin to like be its own identity. I am firmly of the belief of this, that they should have had Tim move over and be the original Robin, Dick Grayson's sidekick, and then he could have like had his own thing. Yeah.
Derek says he also goes by Drake.
He does go by Drake. He goes by Drake. I think now he goes by Drake, which is a bad choice because his legal government name is Tim Drake. Someone's going to figure that out. I forgot to mention, at some point, remember Tim said, you don't need to be my dad, I already have a dad. At some point, his dad gets murdered because of Batman and the crime fighting. It's a whole thing. So now he doesn't have a dad, so now Bruce is his dad, actually, for real. Also, it's a duck, says Derek about Drake. In the midst of all this, there's another hero. This is so long. I'm so sorry for everyone who does not care about Robin histories. There's a girl called Spoiler. She wears like an all-purple outfit. Her face is covered. Long story short, she ends up like in this weird parasocial relationship with the Robin, who's Tim Drake, and her dad is a B-list villain, and she's called Spoiler because she's trying to spoil his crimes so that they don't go through.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
Long story short, for a little while, she's the Robin. So it's like she's like the first girl Robin, but not really the first girl Robin, because you remember back in the 80s, there was like our super gritty, grungy Batman called The Dark Knight, and he had a female Robin. But that story takes place so far in the future that she's not technically the first female Robin. Do you see how comics get really...
Can I tell you, I Googled Batman spoiler character.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's way better than... She eventually becomes Batgirl.
She's way cooler than any Robin I've ever seen.
Yeah, she's better at it than a lot of them because she's a lot
extremely
more willing to kick people in the face.
Hey, bring her back from whatever.
So she's Batgirl now. So Batgirl has her own team. If you remember, there's Batgirl Barbara Gordon, who's the daughter of the chief police commissioner. And then she can't be Batgirl because she gets shot by the Joker. We're right back to the Joker doing things to Bat families. And so she ends up training other like Batgirls to take over, one of which is an assassin. If you're sensing a pattern, there is one who's been trained since birth to be an assassin. Takes her in, and originally she doesn't speak, and she's super cool. She like, her mask is like all one piece and with like stitches across her mouth to signify that she like doesn't speak. And then Spoiler is the other Batgirl. I want to say that. So now there's also, oh my gosh, there's so many. There's also Duke, who's the son of Lucius Fox. He's part of the Bat family. There's also Signal. He's part of the Bat Factory. He's the only one with powers. He can see into the immediate past and the immediate future, so he can solve crimes that way.
I can also see into the immediate past. I also have that
power. And then there's also Bluebird, and I want to say there's another one called Lark. that are also.
We should stick with a theme here.
We gotta stick to a theme.
You guys, there is so many passerines. We will have material for years if we stick to the theme. You guys, anyone who's ever played Metazua knows there is more passerines than anyone knows what to do with. We will never run out of material. Like, they should let every new sidekick be a new, like, songbird or something.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
I agree. I think you could do songbirds and a bat for, like, ever. Oh,
there's also Hawk and Dove.
Yeah, Hawk and Dove. That's true. They're not, strictly speaking, in the Bat family. They're just also DC Comics.
I did, in my Google search
Canary.
images, see a picture of the spoiler character planting a big old smooch right on a robin.
Yes.
One of the robins, and that feels incestuous at this point.
Well, originally, they, like, have a thing between Tim. Her name's Stephanie. Tim and Stephanie have, like, a flirtation. Tim is now canonically bisexual and currently, I think, has a boyfriend.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, everybody.
From Robin.
From Robin and Superboy.
I do like Batman's Troubled Youth Teen Center.
Yes, truly. If you haven't read
Home for Boys.
Go Home for Wayward Youths. If you haven't read the webtoon Bat Family, I think it's just called Bat Family on webtoon. It's very, very sweet. And I think I complained about it like an episode or two ago, where my only real problem with it is that Batman is too emotionally intelligent. Because, like, that's not the Batman I know. I don't know this guy who's, like, telling people he's proud of them and stuff. But, like, who's that?
Oh, it's a little slice of life.
Yeah, it's slice of life. There's not crime solving. It's like, who ate the last cookie? We have to solve the crime of who ate the last cookie.
We need some low stakes Batman mysteries.
It's very low stakes. I think the most intense episode is the one where Jason Todd, who you'll remember, Jason Todd gets brought back to life because he gets dumped in a pit of magical goo that brings him back to life.
Right. The Bring You Back to Life goo.
The Bring You Back to Life goo. It's called the Lazarus Pit. And
okay. I remember this from one of the video games.
Yes, probably. Because he always gets brought back, and he's, like, never brought back completely right. He's, like, a little bit not. So he's the Red Hood now, which the reason why he's the Red Hood is because in The Killing Joke, the Joker's original identity was the Red Hood. So he's taken on the persona of the guy who killed him with a crowbar, which is a choice and kind of exposes where he's at.
I am glad that, like, obviously in every sort of, superhero universe, characters are gonna come back from the dead. Like, they're gonna be brought back to life. It is guaranteed that it's gonna happen. And then they always have to do all sorts of, like, bending over backwards to explain how they were brought back from the dead. And in Batman, they're like, no, we have a place where we bring people back. Yeah, it's from the Bring You Back from the Dead hole.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
We just pulled you back out of the Bring You Back.
The mysterious Orient. We have here a pit.
The land of the East.
Ra's al Ghul has been keeping this mysterious...
Who is played by Liam Neeson.
As you know, famous actor. Famous Irish actor, Liam Neeson. So, but here he is. At least he didn't, like, put on, like, a weird accent in that one. That would have been not cool, Liam. But actually cool, Liam, because you didn't do that.
Yeah, thanks for not doing
Thanks
that.
Thanks for not doing that, Liam.
Big ups to you, my guy. Thank you. Thanks for being normal.
Thanks for, like, instantly falling in love with Pamela Anderson. The way that all of us want to instantly fall in love with Pamela Anderson. And then realize that, like, we can't work out. But our moment together in the sun was so beautiful.
You're like, God, I wish that were me.
You're like, I wish it was me, Liam Neeson.
I wish that were me.
He loves too hard. Truly does.
Well, we could fix him.
Oh, Shadow Daddy Liam Neeson. Honestly, if he voiced a Shadow Daddy in some sort of, like, VA situation, I'd believe it.
It would be great.
I'd be like, yeah.
He did voice the dad in Fallout 3.
Did he?
Not quite a Shadow Daddy,
not
but
quite but definitely a daddy with problems.
The daddy, yeah.
Daddy
was the daddy in Fallout 3.
Yeah.
And also was obviously famously daddy in the Taken series, right?
Oh yeah. Yes, that's his whole motivation.
Honestly, that's a Shadow Daddy.
Yeah, now that
that's
you say
actually
it,
Shadow Daddy. Now that I think about it,
Shadow Daddy behavior for sure.
That was Shadow
Daddy. You touch
her,
behavior.
you die
behavior, but it was not his kid.
Which, honestly, what is more shadow daddy?
What's more daddy than protecting your daughter? Truly.
Honestly, we found it. We found the origin.
We found him.
We got him, boys.
We got boys. We got him.
Open and shut case.
We got there. We didn't even have to get a board with like all the red string before it all came back.
No, we found it.
Yeah. Now
this
I want
Liam
to play Hades though.
This is what episodes with me are like.
Truly. This has exposed like the reason why we keep Kelly and I together is because Kelly can be the one who's like, Amanda, chill it, And I'm like, I won't.
The glue holding the format of the podcast together.
We're already just like popsicle sticks, some string, and like elementary school level glue as it is.
I'm podcast paint thinner.
Here she comes.
It's gonna fall apart.
Time. Every time I smell paint thinner, I think of Bob Ross, obviously. But the way he like smacks his brush against his easel, like lives rent free in my mind.
That's got to be for the show, right? Like that's got to be for the cameras. He can't be doing that off.
There's got to be an easier way to do it. But I've met enough painters in my life that like they be taking the easiest shortcut and have no regard for their physical space around them. Like zero. They're like, why is all my stuff spotted with paint? I was like, I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that you paint like this, like
like a gorilla.
Like you're trying to survive an earthquake simulator. Is how you're doing it.
Like when you get those paintings where they give an elephant a paintbrush and have the elephants paint it, because people paint like that.
That's how you're doing it.
Wow. Yeah, I'm happy about our love bug femme fatale menacing lurking in the background, looking like who's the girl from Neon Genesis with the long black hair? Misato, that's her name. Misato.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I'm with you now. She's wearing a tight black dress and a red leather vest.
Okay, now that I'm looking at it, Misato is extremely love bug coded because she does have
so right.
the black fit with the red half jacket, like the red cropped jacket. Ooh,
yeah.
And the long. Well, her hair is kind of purple. It's like black but leaning purple.
Yeah, they do that so they can shade it appropriately.
Yeah. Now that I'm looking at it, Misato is actually kind of love bug coded.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of these figurines and I'm like, yeah, there she is.
And then Shinji is kind of like the little guy.
The little guy.
He's too sad to be our little guy, but
is such a little guy.
He is the little guy, but he's the sad version of the little guy. Our little guy is like a happy Shinji, Shinji with like a normal family.
If his mom hadn't died and had her soul put in a robot, just casual anime things.
He's the fixed Shinji.
Yeah.
Now I'm just looking at pictures of Misato.
Now I'm just looking at pictures of Neon.
Now I'm just looking at anime girls.
What's not to like?
Ooh. You know what else I wanted to talk to you about, which is not related to love bugs at all, but I think would be relevant to people who listen to this podcast?
I know exactly what you're going to say now because we talked about it briefly over text.
Reset the counter. People who listen to Just the Zoo of Us have a counter where it says days since last talked about Children of Time, and that number does not go into the double digits. So go ahead and reset that, because I do want to proselytize about Children of Time a little bit. That is my favorite book. And I am like not usually the type of person who will commit to a series. Like I don't usually read a series. But I'm actually now reading the 4th Children of Time book that just came out on my birthday. Happy birthday to me. And so I'm on the 4th one now, which is crazy. I never continue into series or anything. But the first one, so in each installment of the series, each book is about kind of a different like civilization, like a different like planet basically, where so far every book has featured some sort of civilization that is comprised of like a hyper intelligent, like advanced, like evolved sort of like accelerated evolution of some sort of like animal from Earth.
Okay.
And the first book is jumping spiders.
See, this is what I've heard. I've heard it's a spider book. My sci-fi friend says, you like spiders, you have to... I told her, that I've got another friend telling me I got to read Children of Time. She goes, if you like spiders, I highly recommend it, because it's like 50% of the book is just spiders evolving into weird civilizations powered by ants and things. And I'm like, okay,
yes!
All right.
So it goes back and forth. So the first one switches perspectives. There's like half of the book is this spider civilization that's like developing on this planet that's been, you know, terraformed to be basically like Earth, but there's no humans on it. So the spiders are like the dominant species on this planet. They're also like huge and they have this like, you know, evolution accelerating thing. So in half of the book, you're actually watching spider civilization emerge, like watching it develop, get more complex. Like it's like jumping through time. Basically, it'll show you like different points in spider civilization development. So you're watching them like develop socially and technologically and scientifically, and like it's very cool to watch that happen. And the other half of the book is this like group of humans on like an Ark ship. That's honestly less interesting to me than the spider stuff
humans.
going on.
I've seen your stuff before.
I know what you guys have going on. But so the first book is spiders. I don't want to like spoil too much. Yeah. They're not all about bugs. So actually so far, the first one was about spiders. The second one, I guess I can say the second one is octopuses. And the third one has crows. So
all of these so far make sense to me. Like octopuses, if they lived longer, would have already taken over the Earth. For sure.
So, the author Adrian Tchaikovsky, actually, his background is in zoology.
Oh, okay, great.
Like that was his field of study. Like he comes from zoology. So, you know, and every time I've read one of his books, like I'm always just extremely impressed by how, you know, much he puts into like, you know, even just the way about like with the spiders, like the way that they develop communications, because spiders don't have ears, they can't hear things. So their communication is all based on like vibrations.
Oh, interesting.
So they all like tap, like it's like a tactile like language where they have to like feel vibrations from each other in the ground. So they like will tap with their legs on the ground and like communicate with vibrations. Which is really fascinating. And also, you know, all of their structures are made out of silk and web. So they have this sort of like 3-dimensional city. Like they don't, you know, obviously they can like build things up into the trees and everything. So the way that their cities emerge is like very different from the way they would. So I think the author is really, really, really good at thinking about like, what would this structure look like if it was not built by humans at all?
Right.
Like if this was not made to accommodate humans, like what would a spaceship that was built by and for spiders look like? Or what would a spaceship that was built by and for octopuses look like? Like what would they, like they wouldn't be sort of, you know, compressed into the, because like humans can kind of only walk in like a 2-dimensional space. Right. So like for octopuses, it's like a big ball, like full, like a sphere full of water. Like that's what their spaceships look like.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, like that stuff that was like, yeah, obviously they would, like human spaceships wouldn't look like that, but like an octopus's,
they can operate like a whole other dimension that we're missing out on.
Yeah, and also like the octopus's ships, because octopuses largely communicate with each other visually by like changing colors and stuff. So the ships would communicate by like there was like a membrane on the outside of the ship that would change colors, so the ships would communicate with each other by like changing the colors on the outside of the ship.
That's cool.
So like really, really cool. And then there's so many little details that I think are like introduced that are like mind blowing. I'm like, that is such an insanely cool idea, and then it is not at all important. Like
yeah. This is a little tidbit from me, world building,
a little complete banger that is like dropped into the story, and then you move on and you never hear about it again.
So, as far as bugs go, this guy seems like a pretty simple little dude. But how many legs would you give this excellent bug?
I gotta say, what's the maximum? Or is the maximum 6?
We usually do 6, occasionally up to 8. I think we've done like 100, because I think we had some sort of centipede thing at one point.
I will say, for my fond memories growing up around them, I have to give them a high score.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because I am. Oh wait, are we talking about the bug itself or about the heroes?
The bug itself. The bug itself.
Okay, because of my fond memories growing up with them, and I feel like the pleasant memories I have of catching them out of the air and being able to interact with them, I would give them a high score. On the other hand, they are a deeply unserious and like just a challenging bug to take seriously.
Yeah.
Like they're so goofy, they're so silly, they're so just bumbling almost. I feel like I would give them a 5 out of 6, 5 legs out of 6.
I think that's fair. I think my fondness for them is mostly coming from our discussion about them, but I think
that's true. You don't have that, like, you probably don't have the nostalgia working for you.
No, the way that I would for like a roly-poly or like a ladybug, or I'd say when I was a kid, it was crickets were everywhere, maybe even grasshoppers, and now they're like nowhere around. And when we used to take, the big 12-hour drive to my mother's side of the family in the middle of the country, the front of the van being absolutely splattered with bugs in a way that I don't think that really exists anymore. So I'm happy to hear that the bug splattering is still happening somewhere in this beautiful world.
Somewhere
the bugs are still
right
splattering.
now bugs are being splattered.
That's all I crave, really. I'm gonna go 4. I'm gonna go slightly less than you because I don't think they have like a unique thing to them the way that like an assassin bug has like a thing, But I think the butt to butt is so funny.
Who else is doing that?
Truly? But is it a power or a hindrance?
I would argue is the opposite of a power.
I would say it is a behavior, certainly.
Of all the behaviors, that's one of them.
That is one. That behavior is behaving. So yeah, I'm gonna go 4, just slightly below, but I do still like them. I don't want them to get a bad rap. I also think it's funny that they like showed up, and people were like, "Oh no, invasive." Actually, no.
What are you guys doing? You guys actually aren't doing anything at all.
It's fine, actually. You don't start none, there won't be none. It's fine. You can start.
They're like, we have way bigger problems.
Yeah. Again, the fact that they just kind of showed up is really funny to me.
And then they also just kind of saw themselves out.
Yeah, it's like they have like a migratory pattern that takes place over 100 years, so we haven't tracked it yet.
Like, my job here is done.
Maybe they were just vacationing in Florida.
As we all do.
As we all do sometime in this life.
This is the custom.
They're just adhering to local customs. They show up to Florida. They get a mullet. They harass an alligator that wasn't doing anything to them, and then they go home.
I do love that you've incorporated the mullet into the Firefly.
You say Florida to me, and I think mullet. I can't really say mullet.
Yeah. There's a few more things he would need to have to be fully Florida.
Okay.
He would need to be wearing flip-flops.
Okay.
He would need to have a pub sub in one hand.
Okay. Cool. Good. The only person I know from Florida was from Jacksonville, and he was like
that's me.
Oh,
that's
really?
Me.
Okay, so I know 2 now. Because I know one other person from Jacksonville.
That's where I'm from. I'm from Jacksonville.
And he was just like always trying to get on a jet ski. And I was like, bro, there's not jet skis around here.
Yeah,
like there's nowhere.
Skis.
He's like, what if we just head up to Hag Lake and we'll do some jets? I'm like, there's not enough room to jet ski on Hag Lake, my guy. He's like, I'm gonna find one. And I was like, okay, have fun.
Well, because in Florida, being on a jet ski is really the only reliable way that you can be on the water and not be at risk of mortal peril.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, you can be on the water, but you have to be going fast enough that nothing can catch you.
I am scared of alligators.
Oh, no, they're fine. They won't bother you.
People call them like swamp puppies and stuff. I'm like, you people have lost perspective on how dangerous they are.
Are they dangerous? Yeah, but I mean, realistically, they're not gonna do anything. They're so lazy, you know. So many times we would go tubing like down a spring run or something. You could float right by an alligator, and like they really aren't even gonna like look at you as you're drifting past. Like, you know, and even if they did decide to get a little feisty, they're not gonna chase you that far. Like, if you can create a good 10-foot gap, they're probably going to give up. Like, they'll be like, eh.
Every story I hear also of someone like, oh no, they lost their hand to an alligator, or the alligator ate their dog. It's always like they've been at it for a while, and then the alligator is like, okay, you FO'd. No,
you have to try.
Now you're about to
You
F-O.
FA'd time to FO, yeah.
Time to F-O. Here I come. Fifi's coming with me.
Yeah, you have to try.
Okay,
I feel
fair
like to get griefed by an alligator. It's the snakes are a bigger problem in the water. Really the thing I was always the most scared of is snapping turtles.
Oh
because
yeah, miss me with them.
You cannot see them.
Yeah,
and
they are gonna take a bite of you.
They will take a chomp. Although you don't really hear about people getting bitten by them often. I was just always scared of it. The real threat in the water is the flesh-eating bacteria. Like that's the real problem.
The amoeba
that's
up my nose into my brain. Yum.
Yeah, the brain-eating amoeba.
Yeah. No thanks.
No. So honestly, the love bugs were like, we need a dub. We need something here that's going to balance the scales.
Harmless and like kind of silly. Okay.
Yeah, we need a silly, goofy little friend flying around here.
of Miami, as it were.
So I imagine when love bugs first appear at the border of Florida, Florida is just like the dude on the porch with a gun. Like, what's your business here?
Just passing through, sir. All right. Come on in.
You ain't got nothing on you? No knives or nothing? They're
just looking for a real pretty dame to stick my butt to.
Ain't we all?
Oh, come on in, boy. All right, fair enough. Well, if you'd like to stick your butt to us, you can find us at the Reddit, Bugs Need Heroes, YouTube, I guess, technically, we're also there. I always try to mix up which order I do them in. Blue Sky, Instagram. You can find us. We're at Bugs Need Heroes everywhere where it matters. Ellen, where can we find you?
I have a show. It's called Just the Zoo of Us. You can find it on MaximumFun.org or wherever you get podcasts. Kelly has been on an episode of Just the Zoo of Us about mosquitoes a while back. So if you're looking for a good place to start with a familiar voice, go check that one out. We had a lot of fun. We had a really great time talking about mosquitoes.
Kelly is all about town. Like, people are interviewing her for stuff, and no one ever wants to interview me. Podcast idiot.
I will. We could talk about something, I'm sure.
Feel free always to send us your suggestions for bugs or suggestions for guests. If you think there's someone who, like Ellen, would love to come and talk to us, let us know. Reach out. But mostly, we love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. I wanted to help.
Bugs Need Heroes was created by Derek Conrad and Kelly Zimmerman. Hosted by Amanda Niday and Kelly Zimmerman. Bugs Need Heroes is produced and edited by Derek Conrad, with some assistance from Chelsea Bodden and a few cats. Character art is by Amanda Niday. Our music is Ladybug Castle by Roll Music. Got a bug question? Email us at bugsneedheroes@gmail.com. Check us out at bugsneedheroes.com, and most of the socials are under Bugs Need Heroes. Thanks for stopping by.
Get back. I don't know why I clicked away from my notes. That was so silly of me.